Let me ask you something. Have you ever had a deal completely fall apart, not because of the price, not because of the market, but because of a toilet? I have, and I'm going to tell you exactly what happened and how you can make sure it never happens to you. I'm Mac Rogers, and today I'm walking you through the 11 repairs every Castro Valley home seller needs to make before they list, because here in the East Bay, there are strict local requirements that will completely blindside you if nobody tells you about them. Consider this as your heads up. Let's get into it. Number one on the list is navigating local point of sale ordinances. I put this first because every city in the East Bay is completely different, and this will trip you up. If you're selling here in Castro Valley, the sanitary district requires a private sewer lateral compliance certificate, meaning you have to prove your sewer pipe has no defects before it closes. But if you're in Oakland, you're dealing with EBMAD sewer rules and mandatory sidewalk repairs. Richmond has automatic gas shutoff valves. Almost every East Bay city has a specific hurdle you have to clear. Find out your local rules, fix what needs to be fixing, and do not leave this for the buyer to discover during escrow. Number two, seismic water heater strapping. Now, unlike city rules, this one is California state law. And here in earthquake country, it's not a suggestion. Your water heater must be strapped to resist falling, and as the seller, you have to certify that this is done correctly. Now, let me tell you exactly what correctly means. The strap has to wrap all the way around the tank and anchor directly into the wall studs. A standard 50-gallon tank needs 2 straps. A 75-gallon tank needs 3. And here's a pro tip most sellers miss. If your water heater is in the garage, the ignition point must be at least 18 inches off the ground. Hire a licensed plumber for this. Do not DIY it. Number 3 is the loose toilet. Remember at the beginning of this video when I asked you if a deal could really fall apart over a toilet? Well, here's exactly what happened. I had a seller who moved out before they put their house on the market. We had our inspections done, and the report pointed out to a leaky toilet dripping down into the crawl space. Now, this is fairly common when wax rings gets old. But little did I know, the only thing done to fix it was someone just tightened the bolts to the toilet. Not only did that not work, but it actually damaged the wax ring itself even more. Now, this would have been okay if the leak showed up during the open house or, during the marketing phase where we could have easily caught it. Instead, it happened during the buyer's final walkthrough. It caused a massive panic at the absolute worst time. Everything was flooded. The lesson here, if a toilet is loose or leaking, don't just crank down the bolts. Hire a plumber, replace the wax ring, and save your deal from blowing up at the finish line. Hey, by the way, if you're someone who likes learning how to maintain your house the right way, so things like this don't happen, I actually have a whole second YouTube channel called Savvy Homeowner. I do deep dives on home maintenance and home improvement over there. I'll put a link in the description for you to check out, or it's here. Now let's move right on. Repair number 4, electrical issues. Buyers hate electrical problems more than almost anything else. Here's a quick pre-listing checklist. First, GFCI outlets must be installed within 6 feet of any water source. That means your kitchen, bathroom, garage, and exterior. Second, make sure your circuit breaker panel is properly labeled. Third, look out for double tapping. That's where 2 wires go into a single breaker. It's a major fire hazard, and a buyer's inspector will flag it every single time. Finally, check for reverse polarity in ungrounded outlets. You don't even need an electrician for this part. You can pick up a simple plug-in outlet tester at Home Depot for about, $15 and walk around testing every single outlet in your house yourself before you list. Number 5. Now let's talk about appliances and HVAC. This one sounds obvious until the home inspector starts testing everything. Every burner on the cooktop needs to work. Dishwasher, it needs to run. Oven needs to heat properly. Built-in microwave needs to be functional. And if you have bonus appliances like a wine fridge, outdoor kitchen, or garage refrigerator that's included in the sale, buyers are going to expect those to work too. But the biggest item here is your HVAC system, your heating and air conditioning. And here's why it matters. If your heating system isn't working, this can become more than just a negotiation item. It can become a loan issue. A home needs a functioning heat source to meet many lender and appraiser requirements. and FHA or VA buyers may not be able to close until that's fixed. And even with conventional buyers, if the AC condenser outside is rattling, leaning, or making weird noises, buyers are going to assume the whole system is on its last leg. I've seen buyers ask for $5,000, $10,000, even $15,000 in credits over HVAC concerns. My advice, have an HVAC company service the system before you list. That way you can show buyers receipts, prove everything is working, and remove one more reason for them to ask for money off. Repair number 6, under the sink leaks and faucet drips. This is one of those little things that can create a big red flag for buyers. I want you to go under every sink in the house, kitchen, bathrooms, laundry room, and check for moisture staining or swollen cabinet bottoms. A lot of cabinets are made of particle board or press board, and once water gets in there, it swells up fast and it can look like a major water damage even when it's really just a slow drip or it's already been fixed. Then turn on every faucet, let it run for a minute, check underneath for leaks, check the shutoff valves, check the drain lines, and don't forget to look at the caulking and the seals around the sink and countertop too, because water can seep in there and cause hidden damage over time. A tiny drip might seem minor to you, but to a buyer, it raises a much bigger question. What else is leaking in this house? And once buyers start wondering about hidden water damage, now they get nervous. These are usually cheap, easy fixes, so fix them before they show up on the inspection report. Number 7, smoke and carbon monoxide detectors. This is one of the easiest fixes on this list, but it still comes up all the time. And here in California, this isn't a suggestion, it's the law. Smoke alarms should be installed in every bedroom, outside each sleeping area, and on every level of the home. CO2 detectors are required on every level of the home if you have fuel burning appliances or an attached garage. And here's what a lot of sellers miss. These detectors expire. Most smoke alarms and CO2 detectors need to be replaced every 7 to 10 years depending on the manufacturer. So flip them over and check the manufacture date. If they're outdated, replace them now. This is such an easy and inexpensive fix, but inspectors and appraisers call it out all the time. And if you're selling to an FHA or VA buyer, missing or non-functioning detectors can delay closing until they're installed. Simple fix, easy win. Repair number 8, automatic seismic gas shutoff valves. Remember earlier when I said different East Bay cities have different requirements when you sell? This is one of those. In some East Bay cities, or if major work has been done to the property, an automatic seismic gas shutoff valve may be required by local code before closing. This device automatically cuts off your gas in the event of a major earthquake, helping reduce the risk of fire or gas leaks. Now, here in Castro Valley, this usually is not required for a standard home sale, but if you're selling in a nearby city or you've recently pulled permits for certain work, this could come up. And even if it's not required, buyers may still ask about it because safety upgrades like this give them peace of mind. So before you list, check with your local building department and make sure you know whether this applies to your property. Because if it does, you don't want to find out in the last week of escrow. Repair number 9, fireplace issues. This is one that surprises a lot of sellers because they assume if they never use the fireplace, it won't matter. Believe me, it matters. One of the most common things that comes up on the inspection is the fireplace damper clamp or damper clip. It's a small metal clamp that keeps the damper from closing all the way, which helps prevent carbon monoxide from backing up into the house if there's a gas log lighter installed. It's cheap, easy to install, and inspectors flag it all the time. Also here in the Bay Area, we have spared the air rules during certain times of the year. That means on designated days, burning wood is illegal due to air quality restrictions. And if you have an older fireplace, inspectors may also call out, cracked brick, damaged mortar, broken flue liners, or old glass doors that don't properly seal. Again, these may seem minor, but to buyers, fireplace issues can feel like an expensive repair. So if you have a fireplace, have it checked before you list. Repair number 10, pest and rodent damage. Buyers hate pest reports, and here in California, pest inspections are very common. So before you list, go up into your attic. Yep, I know, nobody wants to do this, but check for rodent droppings, chewed out wiring, damaged insulation, or signs that animals have been nesting up there. Then, if you have a crawl space, check down there too. Look for moisture, look for standing water, look for damaged insulation or evidence of termites and dry rot. And if you have a built-in barbecue, sheds, or detached structures, open them up. Critters love those places. Here's a little nugget for you. I had a neighbor who sold their house, and a few months after the new owners moved in, they discovered a rodent infestation. It was insane. There was a lawsuit about this, by the way. The big question was, how were they getting in? The pest company traced it back to tree branches touching the house. The rodents were literally using the branches like a bridge to get into the roof and into the structure. So while you're doing your pre-listing walkthrough, look for tree limbs touching the roof line, eaves, or siding and trim them back. Also, look for gaps around the vents, crawl space openings, and roof penetrations. Sometimes preventing the problem is easier than treating it later. The reason this matters is because even minor pest issues make buyers think the home hasn't been maintained. And once buyers start thinking deferred maintenance, they start lowering their offer, or they ask for credits or walk away. So if you find signs of pests or rodents, get a pest company out there before the buyer does. And finally, repair number 11, garage door safety features. Most people know about the photo eye sensors at the bottom of the garage door. Those little sensors that stop the door if something crosses the beam. But a lot of people forget about the auto reverse feature. That's the feature that makes the garage door reverse if it physically hits something or someone on the way down. And yes, inspectors test this out. An easy way to check it out yourself is to put a 2x4 flat on the ground underneath the garage door. Close the door. If it touches the board and doesn't reverse, you've got a problem. Usually it's just an adjustment. Sometimes it's the opener. Either way, it's a simple fix before listing. Also in California, any new garage door opener installed after July 1st of 2019 is required to have a battery backup. So if your opener is newer and doesn't have one, buyers may ask questions. Again, easy fix, easy win. And here's a bonus for you. Don't forget about plumbing fixtures that should also be compliant, meaning they're water-conserving plumbing fixtures. So there you have it, 11 plus a bonus repairs every Castro Valley home seller should make before they list. And trust me, doing these repairs upfront can save you thousands in credits, prevent delays in escrow, and maybe even save your deal from falling apart. I'm Mac Rogers. If you're thinking about selling your home in Castro Valley, San Leandro, Hayward, Dublin, or anywhere in the East Bay, and you want to know what repairs you should handle before you list, reach out. And if this video helped you, hit that subscribe button because I put out videos every week to help East Bay homeowners make smarter real estate decisions.